Hello, Internet. I have a friend, Lily, who just got her first guitar and probably sat down with it like I did when I first started, thinking, wow, this is going to be great. I can't wait to be able to play the guitar. And once you get it tuned up and in your hands, you're so excited, but you also have this daunting task of where do I even begin? And everybody goes through that same thought process. So I thought that I would give Lily a few tips, and then I figured, you know what, this is probably useful information for other people in the same process. So I was thinking back to when I first started and picked mine up, got it all tuned up, ready to go in my hands. I was so excited, and I was just like, okay, now what? So I just wanted to go through a few things that I believe are a really good starting point. I taught myself how to play the guitar probably 5 years ago now. And there was one thing that I know for a fact that I started with, and it was basically using these two fingers. So there's a couple different things. Obviously you want to get tuned up. Let me just make sure. Good enough. Okay, so we're going to be using these two fingers. Now, when I learn to play songs, I go on the Ultimate Guitar Tabs app and look for the chord charts of whatever song I'm looking to play. So that's also a good starting point. So you need to kind of just ease your way into the simple chords. And once you start learning more songs, it kind of forces you to learn other chords as you go along. But, like I said, the simplest, use these two. So what you're going to want to do first is take your middle finger, go on the top string, the E string, the low E string, put it on the 3rd fret. Then take your pointer finger, go one string underneath it, so the 2nd string, on the 2nd fret. This is a very basic G chord. You really only need those two fingers to play more than half the chord. The full G chord is just adding these two on bottom, but if you just play with these two fingers, that's plenty good enough. So that's a G chord with just those two fingers. Again, that's the first bottom string, the bottom E string, middle finger on the 3rd fret, and then your pointer finger down on the 2nd string, just one fret behind it, so the 2nd fret. So that's a very simple G chord. Now, why I say it's just a 2-finger kind of thing, because you can move this exact position, move it up, both strings, just up one. So then, try not to hit the bottom string. And if you can, sometimes I even put my thumb just rested on that top bottom E string so that it's just muted, so it won't ring out once you strum it. But this is a very simple C chord. So then, once you just have those two, you can practice just getting your fingers comfortable on the strings. I know that's pretty difficult when you first start, and I'm still building up my calluses, and it still has that effect. It's gonna, you have to take it little by little. So it's most important that you just get your fingers comfortable on the strings. You never want to be pressing too hard. If you're pressing too hard, then you're likely just overworking. You really just have to get them nice on there, enough so where it touches that fretboard. Hear that? That's just because I'm pressing down just enough on the fretboard to get the sound I need. So G. Just practice that. Get your hand comfortable. And then you can move it up. The whole position, just bounce that from the top strings, just down one more. And it's going to be difficult to not hit this bottom string. That's why I always try to just mute it with my thumb, if you can. But if not, just try to get comfortable about what strings you're actually strumming. Simple C chord. And then go back down. So anytime you see a song that you're trying to learn and you see a G chord or a C chord, you can just play it with 2 fingers. That's a really good place to start. And why I say it's a good place to start is because, like I said, a full G chord adds more fingers. And if you can, I use my pinky and my ring finger, my pinky all the way on the 6th string, on the 3rd fret, my ring finger exactly above it, 3rd fret, on the 5th string, and then those same 2 fingers up top. And it sounds like that. So that's a full G chord, but I always liked, when I started, to just keep it simple and just get comfortable with my fingers pressing down and figure out what strings I'm hitting while I'm doing that. G. Now let's bounce up to C. And back down to G. And that's a very good place to start. Another one that you can do with just these 2 fingers is called an E minor chord. So you have the G. You get close so you can see. The G chord, the C chord, and then the E minor is open on the bottom, so you don't have to worry about fretting that. And then take your pointer finger, put it on that 2nd fret, on the 2nd string, and then take your middle finger and just place it right underneath that one, on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And that's an E minor. Very, very common chord in a lot of simple country and pop songs. It's C, G, and E minor, 3 chords in a lot of songs, over and over and over. So that's why I say this is a good place to start. You're just using 2 fingers. You want to get comfortable on the fretboard, pressing down the strings, and you just need to start practicing just making those movements. Like I said, it's all about getting comfortable. So, if you add that E minor chord in, again, open on the bottom, 2nd string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 2nd fret, and then all the rest of them you can also play open. You don't have to worry about not hitting any strings or muting any strings. So get that position comfortable, and then once you're comfortable with it, then you can start practicing making those simple movements from G to C to E minor, and you can really go in any order that you want to. So let's get an example. So I'm going to start with G, go down to E minor, then we can go to C, and then back down to G. And just like that, you're playing the guitar. C, E minor, C, G. Any order those chords work really well together in. And obviously, like I said, you want to get comfortable in just playing those. And even though it sounds simple, there's a lot you can do with it. This is all the same chords. So there's There's a lot you can do with just those 3 chords and just these 2 fingers. So like I said, that's just a really good place to start. It's where I started. And it's all about just getting comfortable with your fingers. You're not going to be able to play for very long when you're first starting out. Even right now, I still have to take a break after, you know, maybe a half hour, 20 minutes. I have to let my fingers rest, kind of massage them out so I don't get those lines in them. And eventually it'll get more comfortable. But you can start playing the guitar with just these 2 fingers and these shapes.